A man found a mysterious painting in a thrift store. Mark Phillips was looking out the window of his house while drinking his morning coffee. It was his habit to go out on Saturdays to look at small thrift stores around town, maybe to find some unique furniture or an old poster. Mark started the car and drove to a deserted area of New Jersey. There was an old store there called Delaney's Treasures. A swinging sign outside was rustling in the light breeze. As Mark entered, a mysterious old man appeared. "Mr. Delaney, did you come to see or to find something?" Mark smiled and said, "Just looking." At that moment, Mark's eyes fell on a painting. A large gold-framed picture in which a Victorian-era man was peering out the window. His eyes were strange, as if they were looking directly at Mark. "Mr. Delaney said before touching the painting, there are some stories about it, some things that people feel, but if you're brave, take it. I'll give it to you for $20. Mark bought the painting and hung it on the wall in his studio. That night, while Mark was working on his computer, he felt a strange sensation, as if someone was standing behind him. He turned around, ... There was nothing. But the eyes of the man in the painting were glowing even in the dark. The next day, Mark's wife Samantha comes home. As she looks at the painting, her face falls. "Samantha, where did you get this? It makes me feel weird." "Mark, what do you mean? It's just an old piece of art, isn't it?" "Samantha, no, Mark. It's weird. It's looking at me." Mark laughs. But as night falls, Samantha wakes up, startled. "Samantha," someone whispered in my ear. "Get me out," Mark jokes. But when he passes the painting again at night, the hairs on his neck stand on end. There is a soft breathing sound coming from inside the frame. The kitchen lights automatically turn off. A shadow moves in Samantha's room in the glow of the lights. As Mark works, he sees a face in the painting change slightly, as if smiling. One night, Mark sets up a video camera to prove that nothing strange is happening. But when he watches the video in the morning, at 2:37 a.m., a shaky image appears. The eyes of the man in the painting slowly move to the right, as if looking at the camera. Mark's hands start to shake. Mark goes back to the same store, but there is no Delaney's Treasures there anymore. Only a closed shop and a broken window. He asks an old woman nearby, "Old woman Delaney, that shop closed 8 years ago. Its owner committed suicide because of a painting." A shiver ran through Mark's body. Is it the same painting? Is it the same painting that Delaney had? One night, Samantha disappears. Mark searches the whole house. Then suddenly he hears Samantha's voice from inside the painting. "Mark, get me out of here." As Mark goes to remove the painting, there is a loud bang and a streak of blood appears on the wall. Mark looked at the bloodstains on the wall in panic. His hands were shaking. He tried to pick up the painting again, but as soon as he touched the frame, he felt a jolt, as if an electric current had entered his body through his hand. The eyes in the painting were now more visible than ever. They were glowing in the darkness. And blinking, Samantha's screams from inside the wall could be heard again. "Mark, get me out of here. Can you hear me?" Mark began hammering on the wall like a madman. But the wall was concrete, lifeless, empty, as if Samantha had never been there. Mark left work the next day and began searching the library, the internet, and local records. He found an old newspaper from 1962 with the headline, "Local artist found dead after painting goes missing. It sees through you," he warned. According to reports, an artist named Edgar Malley had tried to capture an evil spirit in his last painting. After she died, the painting disappeared. Mark was convinced the same painting was now in his house, and the same evil spirit had taken Samantha away. That night, Mark lit a candle and sat in front of the painting, trying to talk to the spirit. According to a ritual he found on YouTube, he placed a mirror in front of the painting and said 3 times, "Reveal yourself, reveal yourself, reveal yourself." The room went dark. The light shone in the painting, and Mark saw a faint shadow in the glass. A human figure, slowly approaching. Then suddenly, Samantha's figure peeks out of the painting, but her face is filled with fear, pain, and desolation in her eyes. "Samantha, Mark, you can't understand this. It won't just take me. It will take you too, and then everything disappears." Mark found the old house of artist Edgar Malley, which was now a dilapidated mansion. He went inside and found the shadows of the paintings on the wall, broken frames, and a burned diary in a corner. The diary read, "I have imprisoned this demon, but every human who sees this picture goes into its eyes to free it. ... A sacrifice will have to be made." Mark's hands began to tremble. Has Samantha become a sacrifice? Oh, is there still time to save him? Mark returns home and stands in front of the painting, shouting, "I'll take revenge. Take me. Just leave, Sam. The surface of the painting shakes and a black hand comes out, as if someone has removed the curtain from the inside. Mark steps back, but then presses himself and cuts his finger with a sharp knife, smearing blood on the frame. Suddenly, the painting explodes, and with a loud scream, Samantha's voice is heard. Mark, the door has opened. After the mark made on the painting with Mark's blood, a smoke rose in the wall. The surface of the frame became like a mirror and a portal opened in it. Mark took one last look at the world behind him and jumped into the painting. Eyes closed, breathless, and then as if he was falling into space. When Mark regained consciousness, he was standing in a thick, foggy field. There was fog everywhere, and silence, but somewhere in the distance, Samantha's voice echoed. Mark, I am here. Find me, Mark began to walk slowly. With each step, the echo of screams on the ground felt like this place was alive. He saw a broken mansion. When he went inside, he saw the imprints of human faces on the walls, whose eyes were moving. Each face was the reflection of an imprisoned soul. Then he saw Samantha chained in a corner. She was alive, but weak. Samantha, Mark, don't come. It will take you too. At that moment, a shadow appeared from the wall. The same man from the painting. Black, faded, tall, but now his eyes were burning with fire. Shadow, you opened the way. Now it's yours forever. Mark immediately realized that escape was impossible. He took out the same diary he had brought from the artist Edgar's mansion. A line began to flash in the diary. Only by replacing yourself can you set a soul free. Mark knew there was only one way out. Mark, take me. Let him go. The demonic shadow stopped. It slowly backed away and the chains began to break on their own. Samantha fell unconscious to the ground, but her face was peaceful. When Samantha opened her eyes, cue. She was lying on the floor in front of the painting. Mark was not there. There was a new face in the painting now. Mark's face was silently looking at her. His eyes were trembling slightly. She was screaming, but there was no sound. Samantha tried to burn the painting several times, but it always reappeared on the wall. Finally, she locked it in a wooden box and threw it into a distant river. But a new thrift store had opened several miles away. Outside, a swinging sign read Mally's Curiosities, and inside the glass, the same painting. Mark's face, smiling, waiting for a new buyer. He bought a haunted painting from a thrift store. Now, It Has Watched Him is now complete. Johnny, if you ever feel a flicker of eyes in an old painting, remember, maybe it's not just a picture. It's someone's prison or looking for the next victim. If you want, I'll now